my god, I'm sweating. It's probably really red-faced. Hey, I'm Janelle, this is toDIYfor, and this week I was inspired by a photo that I saw on Pinterest. Maybe you've seen it. I am obsessed with plants in my decor, as you might already know, and I'm always looking for an excuse to buy a new plant. So this week I decided to tackle this project because I can only assume that costs so much to buy, and I figured I could make it myself. Now, there's lots of different ways that you can create living walls. Some involve a lot of holes in the wall in order to be able to hold up the plants and whatnot that you're hanging on. Typically, I guess usually like a rack or something like that on the wall. That's the research that I found. This one is more so for a vine plant. So it doesn't need to be anchored in the wall like crazy. Probably just a couple of hooks is gonna hold it fine. So I figured it'd be a lot more renter friendly, which is exactly what I am. And I decided to use embroidery hoops to make this. Now this is the cheapest option I could think of. I grabbed these off of Amazon for, I wanna say $8. And the beauty of embroidery hoops, as you know, 2 for the price of 1. Because they kind of come together. I kind of like the idea that they're different sizes as well, and it's going to match a circle thing rug that I made previously in the same area in my apartment. So pretty much all you're gonna need for this project are the embroidery hoops. I've also got a little bit of faux white fabric here. It's faux leather. I've just worked with it before. White is a bit of an accent color in my living room. I've got my cutting board and just some tools to cut this, and we're gonna put it together. So let's see how it goes. So here I'm just figuring out how wide my pieces of fabric need to be. Essentially what you want is to cover up the entire metal piece so it just looks like some wooden hoops together with fabric. Now you can use any fabric that you like for this. This is what I had kicking around. And as you can see, I have a grid on my mat here, so I didn't actually measure it, but I'm cutting up some strips of, I would say probably about 2 inches wide. Just measure your pieces that you're working with. Next I laid out all of my wooden hoops in the arrangement that I liked, and then I connected it all with these pieces of fabric. So they are underneath each connecting portion. Specifically, you want to make sure that these pieces are long enough that they can wrap around the metal piece, because it's going to be a bit of a wider gap there, but you still want to connect all of the other wooden pieces as well. It'll provide more structure to this piece here, so it's not too flimsy. I hand stitched it all instead of gluing, because I thought it would hold better, and obviously I can't take this through the sewing machine. But do it nice and tight, and once you have it all stitched together, you can trim off the edges, and this will all be hidden. Okay, so once you have sewn all of your pieces together, you'll kind of have something that looks like this in whatever shape you decided to do yours in. So I put all of the seams at the back, and I'm going to hang this up on the wall. Not in here, but somewhere else. And I just need to figure out how I'm going to kind of put different things inside each hoop to kind of make it sit on an angle like this for my plant to then crawl in and through. So gotta figure that out, and then I will show you how I hung it all up. So yeah. So I opted to use some finishing nails here. I just used a couple of them. My landlord allows them to be in the wall, so that's what I'm using here. As you can see, I already have 1 nail hanging up my piece, but I didn't want it to hang quite like that. I wanted it to go to the side, so I'm just hammering in the other nail here so I can kind of have my plant stretch out towards my TV and across my wall. So these nails are completely hidden underneath the fabric there. That's just, it looks seamless up on the wall, and it holds it quite well. The plant's not very heavy, so I just kind of have this Phothos plant that I've had for a year and a half or so. He's got some long legs on him, and I'm just feeding one of them through here, and eventually he will grow across. So just be gentle with that. My living wall and this apparatus that I created today for it. I think it would look great in any room. I'd love to know what you think of my design idea, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. If you want to see more plant DIY related items in the future, you know I love my plants. I've got lots of DIYs related to plants on my channel already, but if you want more, I'm sure I can come up with some ideas, so leave that in the comments down below. Also, I did do a poll on the community tab in YouTube a couple of weeks ago, and it seems as though you want more decor ideas, so that will be coming, I promise you. More decor DIY ideas coming up, but if you want something specific or specifically related to a certain room when it comes to decor, please let me know either in the comments, or you can get in touch with me through my Instagram or my Twitter. Slide into those DMs, I don't care. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, both at Janelle Steeper. And definitely feel free to share your photos of any DIYs that you make at home as well, because I always want to see what you're making. So just tag me in those photos so I can check them out as well. Don't forget to subscribe. I will be back next week with a new DIY. Cheers!